Hi, and thank you for watching the forum. I'm your host, Ashley Tate, here with my co-host, Christy Largent, and we are here with Faithworks Director, Monique Taylor, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this amazing program that helps our homeless here in the
Northern California.
Yeah, all Northern California.
Okay, so under the Faithworks umbrella, we have a couple different programs.
Okay.
We have Francis Court and we have House of Cornelius.
Oh.
And Francis Court is a 2-year program for families that are homeless with children. And House of Cornelius is a 2-year program for homeless veterans.
This makes me so happy. It just is so exciting to hear.
Because so often you hear people that are single and homeless, that's one thing. You know, the guy on his bike with a bunch of stuff behind it.
Right.
But you look at the families and it really is a horrible horrible situation. Like, where do you go, right?
Yeah.
And you see them in the hotels, and then that doesn't work. Well, tell us about how Faithworks came to be, and then how do people connect with you?
Okay.
People that need you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it was about 2003, and the original director, his name was Robert Scott. He was a wonderful man, and he had a vision, and he wanted to. He knew that there was a huge need for housing in the community for families, and so he had this vision, and he just completely went for it, and he started raising money. And I think at that time the city had put out a request for you know, that they had some money to put up if someone wanted to start a program, and so he did that, and we started opening in 2006, housed our first family, and it's been very successful. We have about 125 families on our wait list at all times.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's a huge need in the community. We house, you know, women with children, men with children, or we house, you know, men and women together, keep families together. I've been there since the beginning, and it's just it's great, it's wonderful. Our families are very successful, typically.
Tell us about that. What does that mean? Our families are successful.
So our families move in, and I'll just tell you about a little bit how they move in. They are referred to us by different agencies, or they can self-refer. And so they move in, and they move into a furnished apartment. The apartments are furnished by the churches in the community.
Oh my gosh.
And so when they leave successfully, they get to take that furniture with them. And then the church comes in and furnishes again. So that's really awesome, because a lot of times our families come to us with absolutely nothing.
So they would be referred like from House of Hope
Goodness
Women's
Commission.
Visions of the Cross. We have a lot of women from Visions of the Cross.
Okay.
CPS, the courts, probation, all different agencies in the community.
So they would refer, and then they come in, and they have a safe, clean, lovely place to live, and kind of regroup.
Exactly.
So then what happens?
Yeah, what are some of the services that you offer? Because you had like a lot of stuff, like getting them back employed and all that stuff, right? So,
And a lot of the families move in, and their children are in foster care.
Okay.
And so in order for the courts to give their children back, they say, you know, sometimes they say you have to go to Francis Court, and sometimes they just say you have to find housing. But either way, the family moves in, and then their children come home right away. And then the families move in, they get to, you know, they have about a week just to get settled in, and then we have them start doing classes and such.
Yeah.
We have life skills classes, money savings classes, parenting classes. We do weekly house inspections. It's not an easy program. We have a lot of rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the families have to be accountable, but that, you know, when they leave, they say, you know, what helped us the most was all the rules and the classes.
Because you find that many of the people in your program have never had healthy boundaries. They don't understand of what it takes to live in a community.
You're right.
Right? So you guys just give them that safety net, in essence.
Yeah. A lot of our families, they've come from generations of drug use, maybe, and so they, you know, don't know how to clean. They don't know how to budget money. You know, we teach them. You know, we want them to be successful, not just in the 2 years they're with us, but forever.
Yeah.
So we, you know, teach them, pay your rent first, save your money. You've got to pay your utilities. Everything else is secondary. You know.
So once they start working, do they pay rent to Faithworks?
They do. They do. They pay about 30% of their income.
That's great.
And then a program fee, and then a mandatory savings, which is $75, and then $25 cleaning. So that $100 is put away for them. So if they've been there, say 16 months, they'll have $1,600 saved up.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
because you guys help them get into different another apartment building or another form of housing, and they get to use that money for their security deposit.
Exactly.
And probably most of them have never had a savings in their life.
No.
They wouldn't know what that felt like.
And you know, we get calls all the time from families saying, you know, we have this apartment, but we can't save up money for the deposit. So, you know, so that's a big holdup for families. So, you know, that helps all of our families get into housing, having a savings.
Do you have any follow-up programs that you use for those people that were in your care before? Okay, so what does that look like?
Well, we stay with them for about a year. We stay with them, you know, just kind of, and people will say, how do you find them, or how do you, you know, and we don't, they come back to us. They come back and they check in with us, and they want to share their accomplishments. But we also, when they first move out, we do a home visit to their new apartment.
That's
and so hopefully we can bring them a little, you know, housewarming gift or something. So that's fun. And then they, you know, they come back for years afterwards. You know, I just had a girl come back the other day that had been one of our first residents, and she wanted to share with us that she's buying a house.
Wow!
You know,
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow!
So it's very exciting.
That's
you know.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell us. So that's your program. Francis Court is for families in need.
Yes.
Right. And then your other program is the for veterans.
Right. It's the House of Cornelius.
Okay.
And it's at a different location, and that's just for single veterans without children.
Okay.
So they just have to be homeless, and so they move in. It's kind of the same concept. They have, you know, we have different programs. We do case management with them. They're usually connected with different agencies. You know, the Veterans Resource Center, the Veterans Service Office, and so, you know, it's kind of the same concept, though. We go up there and do weekly house inspections. We help them, you know, do different things, paying their bills, things like that. And they have a savings program as well.
Nice.
And how many do you have in each of these programs right now?
So the House of Cornelius, we have we can house up to 10 people, and right now we have, I think, 8.
Okay.
And then at Francis Court and Francis Court 2, we can house 16 families. And like I said, we always have a wait list.
You have 16 with 125 families waiting.
Yes.
Wow. So there's a huge need.
Exactly. We do have. We just recently acquired some property from City of Reading, and so we'll be building Francis Court 3 hopefully soon.
Oh, good.
And we'll be able to house 8 more families.
Now, how do you get your funding for this program? I mean, I know the city is involved and they've helped, but how do you get your funding? And how did you guys buy the first building?
Well, Robert Scott, he had to write some grants, things like that.
Right.
And then there's a program or a department at City of Reading called the redevelopment, and that is no more. So, so now
that was the funds Jerry Brown.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So now for Francis Court 3, we will be writing grants. We will be taking donations, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, a process, but I have a good feeling we're going to be able to do it here in the next year.
Well, success breeds success.
Yes.
Exactly.
And you guys have a proven track record.
Yes.
Like, I'm wondering, what is your recidivism? Like, of 10 families, how many will end up back on the street after coming through your program?
I don't really know that, but I'll just tell you right now, we've housed, let's see, we have housed, I have it here somewhere, sorry. We've housed 136 families.
Okay.
And out of that 136 families, 101 have gotten into permanent housing. So
Great.
Yeah, and then remember we have 16 families living there right now. So there's always some families that just don't make it through the program for one reason or the other, but generally the families are very grateful and they're willing to learn and they're receptive, and so we have 93% of our families stay in permanent housing for at least a year.
Good.
After they've moved
That's
out.
a really high statistic.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That's a really high statistic.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I think that first year is very crucial because they're out completely on their own, and so that's they're independent and they're paying their own bills and everything. They don't have us reminding them.
Right. Right. They're doing their own savings.
Yes.
75 a month or whatever it is. So, what is the biggest need that you guys have right now from the community?
I think we're always open to monetary donations, but we also take furniture. We take diapers, things like that. We have a storage unit, so we put furniture in there so that if we have an apartment that a family moves out of and the church can go in there and shop in our storage to furnish the apartment.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to ask, because you did mention before our show that the churches, each church sponsors an apartment building?
Each
or an
apartment, yes,
Okay.
is furnished by a church in the community. And like I said, the church comes in and furnishes, and then when the family leaves successfully, they get to take all that furniture to their new place.
That's
and
so
then
nice.
the church comes back and furnishes again.
That's so great.
And many times they kind of adopted that family, and so they will stay connected with that family through their stay.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, can you tell us a few of the churches that you work with or that work with your program? Because I think that's a nice thing for
Right.
for the
I hope I don't
community to
miss
know.
any, because I don't want to hurt anybody's
Yeah,
feelings. But we
right.
have First United Methodist, Neighborhood, First Christian, Risen King, Pilgrim. Oh my goodness, I don't want to miss
Reading
any.
Christian Fellowship.
Yes, Reading Christian Fellowship. Oh my goodness, Bethel.
Yeah.
St. James.
St. James, yes.
Wow.
St. James Lutheran.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot already. I mean, that's
know
just
it.
it's such a great name for how your program works and
Yes.
the sustainability of it and
I
all.
know.
It's
For
just-
10 years, they've stayed with us and continued the services.
Well, that means the
so-
program works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to do something about the homeless issue in Reading, this is a great organization to give to. I mean, I've never heard about it, but I just love what you guys are doing. I think it's
And the best way to find you, if people want to donate time, money, stuff, is
Our website is www.faith-works.cc. And you can also call us at our office at 530-242-1492.
okay, and you're based here in Reading, faith-works.cc. So it's a little bit different than you're used to, right? Faith-works.cc
Correct.
is the website.
Yeah.
So that's an easy way to get like the skinny on everything happening.
Everything,
And in
yes.
October every year you have a big
We have a
celebration,
big
right?
graduation. We have past, current, and future residents.
Good.
And they're sharing their stories, giving their testimonies.
So check the website for the date on that,
Yes.
so you can make sure to see it in October. Thank you so much, Monica,
you
for
for
coming
having
on.
me.
What a treat. And we're going to be back in just a minute with the second half of our show. You won't want to miss it, so be sure to stick with
for
us,
having
and
me.
we'll be right back.
Hi, we are back and we are here with David Kresick, and he is the CEO of the Chico Rescue Mission. So nice to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Isn't it nice? This show is so interesting because we have the Faithworks people in Reading, and now we're down in Chico with the Chico Rescue Mission, formerly known as The Well.
Yes.
So for 22 years, right, they were The Well, and then they did a major rebrand, but it's still the same program, and that's what we want to hear about and focus on today. So,
That's right.
David, why don't you tell us what's going on at the Chico Rescue Mission?
Well, the Chico Rescue Mission continues to do the same work that we've done for the past 22 years. That is that we are a discipleship training program where we primarily focus on drug and alcohol recovery. We do that in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. It's done through groups and classes and meetings, regular church attendance, and Bible studies. We have a variety of people who come in every night and teach Bible study. We have some of our graduates come. We have pastors that come. There's a music ministry that comes up once a month, and they set up their drum machine and they play guitars, and the fellas get a chance to hoot and holler a little bit. And as I said, there's regular church attendance 3 times a week at local churches. Our men are able to select between 3 churches where they want to attend.
Okay.
We encourage them to try all 3 of the churches. They're, each of the church has its own flavor. They each have their own draw. Some of the men like one over the other, and we allow them to attend where they want to attend. In addition to the faith-based aspect of drug and alcohol recovery, we also have an intensive vocational training program.
Okay.
And what that entails is the men are set in groups on crews and they go out into the community and they do services for people. Each one of our outreaches is led by a graduate of the program.
Okay.
And so that helps us with our each one teach one philosophy, where one of our graduates holds a license in construction. So the men are able to learn construction.
Oh, that's great.
They're able to learn painting, both interior and exterior painting, commercial and residential. We have a detail shop where the men are learning how to detail automobiles.
Can we bring our cars?
You can bring your car in. Yes, you can bring your car in for a detail. And that's one of the ways that we help to support the ministry. All these outreaches, people are encouraged to make a donation after the services are performed, and all of the outreaches help us to continue our good work. We take cars on a donation basis. So we bring them over to our shop, do a safety inspection on them, see whether they can be repaired. The ones that can be repaired economically, we repair them, then we change the oil, clean the car, and offer it for sale.
That's great.
We're able to sell our cars to people who, in some cases, might not be able to afford a car because in any other way we are able to keep the prices low and but still competitive. And so all those things help us to support the ministry. That's where the money comes from.
That's good to know. And one of the things I think a lot of people might be interested in is, are any of these things mandatory? I mean, how do you make them so that when they join the program, because they can't stay overnight, right? You don't have them housed there, but are any of those things mandatory?
Actually, it is a residential program.
Okay.
We're in the process of buying a 40-room motel that we've been living in since 1999.
Wow.
And we have just in the process of refinancing that, need about $600,000 more to complete that purchase. One of the things that we're looking for currently is donations towards that purchase. So the men do stay with us.
So it's a residential program.
It is.
And how many do you have currently in the program?
About 30 men currently in the program, and about 25 postgraduates that are still staying on, either to help in our outreaches, or some of them are actually paying program fees and renting rooms from us in what we call transitional housing.
Yeah. Like bridging that gap.
Right.
Yes.
Like we were before Faithworks would step in, they would be there. Now let me ask you the difference between, and kind of the mix-up was, now you don't have permitting for people to spend the night only.
Correct.
You have permitting for residential housing program.
Yes, that's where I must
So
have
when a
gotten mixed
man
up.
comes in and it's men only, right?
Yes.
So when a man is accepted into your program, he commits that he will be there for the duration of a year?
Yes.
Is that the,
Minimum 1 year commitment. And they agree that they're going to be in the vocational training. And most of them look forward to it and don't mind at all helping out. It gives them a purpose.
Yes, absolutely.
It gives them a set goal. They are part of a team. There's some real camaraderie in the teams, in the whether you're on the painting outreach or whether you're detailing cars. They form up in groups that helps them to be part of something. And that sense of accomplishment at the end of the day is something that some of the men lacked when they got there. Now,
wow.
So it's like a
They never knew
mentorship
it.
program that they have set up, right? And then for the faith side of it, is that mandatory that they go to choose a church and then they have to go every Sunday or?
yes.
Okay.
They attend church Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday night, and then 4 classes per day, up to 4 classes per day, and all of those are mandatory attendance.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And they agree to ours is a 12-step structured program, and they agree to work the 12 steps when they come in, and then there's as I said, an evening Bible study 5 nights a week.
They're busy.
Really changing their lives dramatically.
Well, as was mentioned earlier, the rules and the structure are really what men with dysfunctional lives are hungry for. They're not allowed to say that, but it's what they need, and it's what gives them that regularity, that scheduling. Those things are what help to change a life, and we find that many of them carry it on when they leave our program. On Saturday mornings, we do what we call a major cleanup, and everybody does their chores really well, and we do a good job of keeping the grounds, because we're about to have visitors and guests, and so the men take some real interest in that, and they're proud of their home that they live in, and so they clean up the grounds. We have been told by some of our graduates when they move out that they actually do Saturday morning cleanup, and that they set a chore list for themselves, that they're going to do certain tasks at certain times during the week to make sure that their house gets maintained.
Well, and they probably, most of them, I'm imagining, never had that before. They didn't know what it felt like to have Saturday morning chores.
That's right.
Like a functional family generally has some structure there. Right?
And you know, the funny thing is, with drugs and alcohol, it cuts across all social and economical lines, and you've heard that before. Many of our men that come to us are greatly talented. They're from functional families. They've come from good community, and yet they've just made some poor decisions along the way, and it took them off track. And so through our ministering to them, we're able to put them back on track. Some of our guys I've met some of the nicest men at the rescue mission, and they're talented, willing, and able. Some of them. Others, they need a little more help.
Absolutely.
But
that's why you're there.
They're grateful when they've had that help. And so I enjoy doing what I do. I have a great team that works with me. Everyone at the mission, except for our bookkeeper, is a graduate of the program.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Everyone that works there
that is amazing.
Is a graduate of the program.
Wow, that's neat.
And so
you get that empathy factor.
Exactly, because they understand.
Would be missing.
We have been where they are now, and the men recognize that. They recognize that we're not just shaking our finger in their face and telling them, you have to change. Instead, we offer the hope that we were able to change, and this is how we changed in Jesus' name. And so there is that empathy, and there is that care from everyone that works for the rescue mission.
I want to just ask, so I know that you said you work with men that are, dealing with drugs and alcohol, or that have dealt with that, and also, do you also work with men that are coming out of incarceration as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how do they get referred to you? Like, how do they find out about you?
There are in the prison, there are counselors, and they work with parole and with probation, and so we're on a list, and men know that they need extra help when they come out, because as you know, many of them coming out of prison have nowhere else to go.
They really don't.
We're almost out of time, believe it or not. It's been so interesting. If people want to help, if they want to hire the guys, if they want to give money, if they want to support you, what's the best way to connect with you?
Well, they can call us at 343-1935.
Okay.
They can also find us online at chicorescuemission.org. Please be patient. We're building our website.
But your phone number's on the website, I bet. So chicorescuemission.org is the best way to get a hold of you.
And they can connect with us on Facebook.
Oh, good. Okay.
Great.
Excellent. Well, gosh, what a treat to get to learn all about what the mission's doing down in Chico. David, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
We love hearing these happy success stories.
Thank you.
It's really, you hear a lot of negative, so it's awesome to hear all the positive. And today we got a double blessing of positive, and you got to appreciate it too. So we're looking forward to see you next week right here on the forum.